This tutorial is for students who are ready to start the second part of their cup vessel weaving, which is where we're going to be adding our weft string. So in the first video, we made our warp. So you should have your cup like this with your 9 equal sections all the way down to the bottom. So now we're going to be adding our yarn for our weaving. So to start out, get yourself one color of yarn and measure 2 arm lengths. So you're going to go from your elbow to your hand. And that's just for starters. If you'd like to add more length or less length later to make a thicker band or a thinner band, that's totally up to you. But that's just a good starting point. So to start this in inside our warp, I'm going to just knot this just once, and that's going to create like a little anchor inside the cup. And I'm going to just snip, and I'm going to slide that down into any one of these all the way to the bottom, so you can see my knots in there, and then pull, and that knot's going to prevent it from coming out. Now I'm going to start weaving my weft. So I'm going to go, and you can do this left or right. I'm left-handed, so I'm doing it left. Under your next warp. Okay, so it's like that. So then I go over the next one, and under. Now every time I want to pull this down to the bottom, but you don't want to pull so tight that you cause these to start to bow in. You want to avoid doing that. Okay, so now I just keep following that pattern, and because there's an odd number of warp things on here, it's going to just kind of line up nicely like that. We don't have to worry about whether we're going over or under. You just keep doing the same thing every other one, and it will alternate for you. Okay. Now you'll notice that while I'm doing this, these are kind of spaced out. So while you're doing it, every once in a while, you just want to push them down a little. Okay, so you would just keep going around and around until you get to the end where it looks like this. So, like I said before, I'm going to push those down to make them look a little neater. Now, it's a little harder to push them down when you start out and you're at the bottom, but I promise as you go up to the top, this all gets easier. The weaving gets easier, the pushing down gets easier. It's just because this is very tight here. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding my second color. So I'm going to get another color of yarn. Any color you like. You can do, alternate 2 colors. You can do 15 colors. I really don't care. It's up to you. And I'm going to get 2 arm lengths for this, but it's up to you how much you want to get depending on how thick. Remember, more arm lengths equals a thicker rose. And I'm just going to put these 2 together like this. Loop it around my finger. And go through the loop to tie them together. Pull really, really tight. Snip the tail. And then you're just going to keep going. Okay, so remember, when you're doing this, please make sure that you're not pulling so tight that they bow in like that, because then you're going to have trouble. You're not going to be able to push them down, and then your vessel is going to look kind of weird too. Okay, so you're going to keep going with this until you get to the top, and then you will have your little vessel. Best of luck.